So let's go ahead and do some examples in Minitab. And remember, you don't have to do any of this by hand. And it did talk about the last video, the calculator. You don't have to do it in the calculator. And to me, it's more difficult in the calculator. But if you ever want to check yourselves, there was a general instructions about that. But let's look at it in Minitab because it's so much easier. All right, so I've got 4 scenarios that I'm going to think about. I've got to the left, which could be below or under. I've got to the right, which could be above or over or greater. You can think of it that way. Between two Z's, you're going to have to see it as between. There's really no other way to say that. And the tail scenario, which is to the left of one Z and to the right of another. And if that's not 100% clear, that's okay. We're going to get there. All right. According to the American College Test, the ACT Math, results from the 2017 ACT test found that students had a mean math score of 20.7 with a standard deviation of 2. Assume the distribution is normally distributed. Find the probability that a randomly selected student has a math ACT score of less than 19. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger and let's go ahead and look at it. Okay. I have a mean, correct? So let's make my mean, we're going to make my mean yellow. So my mean is 20.7. My standard deviation, I'm going to make green, and then it says it's normally distributed. Okay, those are some big signs for me. That means that I can use normal distribution. So I have my mean, I have my standard deviation, and I know it's normally distributed. All right, the next parts are very important. So it says here less than 19. So that gives me 2 very important parts, and I'm going to put it in purple. It gives me, what it gives me is the direction it's going and the value I'm looking at. So I have 2 pieces of information I need, the direction and the value. Okay. So this is an example of a left-tailed or a less than example. So, and if you keep going through the slides on this one, I have the directions of how to put it in Minitab, but I'm going to show you right fast. Okay. So I'm going to go to Minitab and I'm going to go to Graph, Probability Distribution Plot, and I'm going to go down here to View Probability and hit OK. And you can see it has the little shaded areas. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the distribution is normal. There's a lot of other distributions, but let's do it as normal. My mean is 20.7. My standard deviation is 2. And then I need to click over here to the shaded area. And remember, I have an X value, which was 19, and I know it's a less than. So in this X value, I'm going to put 19. I'm going to hit OK. And look what it does. It draws the picture for me. So here's the mean. Here's that 19. And the area in red is showing the area below to the left of. So my answer is 0.1977. So if I go back to the slide, and you can see here I have it for you, it means the probability that a randomly selected student has a math ACT score less than 19 is 0.1977. And again, for the probability, I left it in decimals. If I had said the percentage, I would convert it to a percentage, and it would have been 19.77. So that was a less than. Let's look at a greater than. So again, according to the American College Test Math, the results from the 2017 ACT testing found that students had a mean math score of 20.7 and a standard deviation of 2. Assume the distribution is normally distributed. Okay, again, yellow's showing me my mean, and it's 20.7. My standard deviation, again, I'm going to put in green just so I have it all highlighted. And again, I'm assuming normal distribution in blue. That's so important. Okay, but now it has greater than 25. And I'm going to highlight that again in purple. Okay, so that's my greater than or my right-tailed. So let's see how we do that in Minitab. And again, the slides have how to do it if you forget. Graph, probability distribution plot. Click on that and hit OK. So again, I've got my mean is 20.7. My standard deviation is 2. Shaded area. Again, I want the X value highlighted. And then I'm going to do right-tailed for this. And I'm going to change this. Remember, I said it was greater than 25. So X value, right-tailed, 25. Hit OK. And look, it drew me this picture. So here's 20.7. Again, that's my mean. 25 is my X value, and I want to know greater than or above. So my answer is 0.01578. So going back to the PowerPoint, and again, here are the directions if you need it. I have what you need to do. So if I look at it here, here is how I'm going to answer it. The probability that a randomly selected student has a math ACT score greater than 25 is 0.0158. I just rounded because I wanted 4 decimal places. If I wanted a percentage, it would be the percentage that a randomly selected student has a math ACT score greater than 25 is 1.58%. Okay, it's not very high. That's not likely to occur because that probability is so low.